Police start looking into the man that Vicky escaped with. It was Casey White, a man serving 75 years in prison for domestic violence, home invasion, murder, and brutally attacking a man with an axe. But there was one crime that stood out to police even more. 7 years prior to this, Casey had abused and manipulated his then-girlfriend to a point where she tried to escape from Casey's vicious hands. After they successfully made it to her friend's house, Casey would break into the house with 2 guns and full intent. By April 29th, 2022, everything was in place, and they're ready to make their escape. As Vicky holds a senior post at the prison, she has certain powers that she's about to take advantage of. She arranges to send 12 inmates and 5 deputies to court on the day of the escape, leaving her as the last remaining officer in the prison with transport privileges. She then tells her bosses that Casey has to be taken for a mental health evaluation. Looking at the surveillance footage, it's clear something was up. Vicky has her firearm with her, something that is strictly forbidden inside the prison walls. She's also walking in front of Casey instead of behind him, showing she trusts him not to harm her. By helping Casey to escape, esteemed prison officer Vicky has thrown everything she had away, and in one pivotal moment has become a criminal. Vicky and Casey casually walk out of the prison into a patrol car and drive away to freedom. It took 6 hours before anyone noticed they're missing. When the prison calls the courthouse to see what's taking so long, they're told that there is no appointment and they come to the...
Bro, imagine hearing this shit, bro. Your coworker is gone to the damn courthouse and there's no court hearing for dude, but he's not in the prison no more. Bro, at that point, bro, nigga, call the U.S. Army, nigga. Get the Navy, the fucking Air Force, get everybody, bro. He's a threat.
Horrible realization that Casey has made a break for freedom. To evade the authorities, they quickly ditch the patrol car and flee the state, and the cops now have no clue where they are, where they're going, or how to find them, marking the start of an 11-day manhunt that will span the nation. On day 1 of Vicky and Casey's escape, the cops try to find clues at Vicky's home, but she's nowhere to be seen. In fact, she doesn't even own the house anymore. As part of her plan, she sold her house for extremely cheap. With the money, she bought vehicles, guns, and most suspiciously, men's clothing. This is the first indication the cops have that Vicky doesn't intend on coming back and is ready to start a new life with Casey. Things don't get any better for detectives when the patrol vehicle they use to escape is found abandoned at a local shopping mall. And even worse, there's no surveillance footage covering that area of the parking lot, so they don't even know which direction they went. But on day 2 of the manhunt, a tip-off from her family blows this case wide open, as it's revealed Vicky has been renting a storage unit. Police are able to locate the storage unit and discover that she was renting it with a burner phone. But despite their best effort to track this new number, the cops came up with nothing. But the existence of this new phone is the first solid evidence that cops have showing Vicky planned this all along and was actually a willing participant instead of a hostage.
You get the sense they were actually doing this together. He was not forcing her in any way.
Right, no, he was not forcing her. It was a mutual relationship.
You'd think that this would help the investigation, but things only get more insane and confusing from here on out. After realizing that they're essentially back to square one, the cops return to the shopping mall where they found the abandoned patrol car and decide to comb through all of the surveillance footage from the days leading up to the event. That's when they spot Vicky a few days before the escape, parking a car in a nearby parking lot. And this isn't her usual car either. It's one she bought only a couple days earlier, a 2007 Ford Edge that the cops quickly realized had to be their getaway vehicle. But when police went back to the parking lot and the supposed getaway vehicle was still there, they realized that Vicky had left a decoy. Police had just lost their only clue, while giving Vicky and Casey a 5-day head start. But since they abandoned the Ford, the cops assumed that they have to have found another vehicle in the area, and lo and behold, they quickly picked up another lead. A homeowner nearby told them he sold his Ford F-150 pickup truck to a man who approached his house on the day Vicky and Casey went missing. That man is described as being around 6 feet 9 inches tall and looked exactly like the picture he was shown. Now all they have to do is find that Ford F-150.
Nigga, imagine you're on your first day on your shift, bro, and you have to pull up to go find this nigga, bro. I'm not pulling up by myself, gang, on God. If y'all see me first person to the scene, I'm not going, I'm quitting, nigga. I need at least 10 niggas with me, bro. I need at least 10 guns and 5 bombs in that bitch, you feel me? I need hella artillery to go get his ass. We not going solo dolo. We coming with sticks, nigga. We coming with blitz, nigga. On God, we coming to air some shit out, gang. No cap.
Bring this manhunt to an end. And thanks to another lead, they're closing in. On day 6, the owner of a car wash in Indiana noticed something strange. A Ford F-150 had been parked in one of the cleaning bays for an unusual amount of time.
So they just
and he
ditch and whip
suspects
like
this
fuck.
vehicle has been abandoned. Unfortunately, this is before a search was initiated for the truck, but something's still not right. This pickup truck is far too nice to have been dumped by anyone sane, and the owner quickly grew suspicious. In order to find out, he checks out the car wash surveillance footage, and what he finds will help the cops finally capture their 2 fugitives. That's Casey getting out of the pickup. And he's acting very strangely. He's waiting for Vicky, and she's in that car driving just out of shot. When Casey gets in the new vehicle, leaving their pickup and driving off, the owner
This
knows
they fourth whip.
they're up to no good and calls 911.
There's a truck been sitting in my bay since yesterday at 3 o'clock. I looked at my cameras and the guy's kind of suspicious. It's a Ford F-150 4-door truck. It's blue in color. It's got Tennessee license plates on it. And I've got him on camera.
The next day, cops arrive at the car wash and initiate a search of the truck.
Does it return to a Dodge?
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
With nothing to go off of, the cops quickly leave the scene and the pickup is towed away. It takes 4 days for this vital lead to get back to detectives, but when it does, they drop everything and head straight to Evansville on day 10 of the hunt.
Evansville. Let me see where that's at. Hold on. Make sure that shit nowhere near me.
They're due to arrive at the car wash at 9 a.m., but fail to show up on time, frustrating the car wash owner so much that he takes matters into his own hands and calls the local press.
So then, 9:30, they're not here. So I get on the phone to Fox News. I said, y'all want a story? Yeah, we like a story. I said, I got one. So I got a convict over at my car wash. I got him on camera. He said, you talking about the one in Kentucky? I said, no, I'm talking about the one in Alabama with the girl. I said, okay, we'll be right there.
Alabama?
They showed up. They got there 10 minutes before the marshals.
U.S.
I'm in
Marshals arrived
Georgia.
during the media frenzy.
Oh my fucking God. I thought this shit was in Alabama, bro. I thought this was in Indiana, bro. Bro, I'm in Georgia, bro. Nigga, Alabama's the next state next to that motherfucker. God, please do not attract no negative energy.
And when they take a look at the surveillance footage, they realize they've found the car Vicky and Casey could still be driving, a Cadillac, and one that Vicky and Casey think is completely unknown to the cops. It seems like their days on the run are numbered, but even with the leads they have, they come up with nothing, and the cops are starting to realize their fugitives could be anywhere in the country. But as it turns out, they're closer to home than anyone thinks. Back in Evansville on day 11, a cop is on his way home from a long shift when he sees a familiar-looking vehicle parked outside a Motel 41. It looks like the same Cadillac from the car wash, and he hastily takes down the license plate. The problem is, the license plate of the Cadillac seen at the car wash was never seen, so they have no way of knowing if it's the same vehicle. But they do have the license plate of the recovered F-150, so grasping at straws, they decide to run that through their license plate reader, and when they do, they strike gold. Several traffic cameras have picked up the F-150, and following it in nearly every shot.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought there was no cameras on the fucking road. Like, I thought there was no cameras on the highway. I thought that shit was just blind to the fact. That's why rappers always talking about killing niggas on the highway, because they could just get away. Little do you know, there's cameras everywhere, bro. And coming to the future, bro, by 2030, bro, your murder is going to be damn near impossible to get away with, bro. Literally, bro. Impossible.
Cadillac. A Cadillac whose license plate perfectly matched the one at Motel 41 right in front of them. Finally, by sheer luck, the cops have found their fugitives. All they have to do now is bring them in. First, deputy marshals find strategic positions around the motel. They're all in plain clothes and unmarked vehicles, hoping to be as covert as possible. But while the cops surround them, Vicky and Casey are in room 150 watching the TV in horror right as the discovery of the Ford F-150 hits the news. The plan was to bring Vicky and Casey in quietly, but before they get a chance to put their plan into action, Vicky walks out of the hotel room and throws a bag into the Cadillac. She's followed by Casey, and even though they're in disguise, there's no mistaking Casey White's massive frame. Casey gets behind the wheel, and the Cadillac takes off. The cops' plan has been completely foiled once again, but
They got away?
they've got a backup. They're going to follow them and try to box them in to avoid a confrontation. But before they get a chance, they realize they've been spotted. Casey turns onto US Highway 41 and hits the accelerator, taking the cops on a chase across traffic and through parking lots until he manages to make a break for freedom by driving straight through an open field. At around the same time, police dispatch receives a call from none other than Vicky herself, and it gives you an idea of how terrifying this chase really is.
God. Airbags are going on. Let's get out. Run. Hotel.
A police vehicle forces Casey to drive straight into a ditch, and this pursuit is brought to a sudden halt. But it's far from over, as cops know the pair are armed and could open fire at any point in some kind of Bonnie and Clyde inspired shootout.
He said Bonnie and Clyde. This shit was in 2022?
Please, check him out. You're not out, guys.
Your wife? Nigga, your wife? These niggas that got married, bro? What the fuck? Oh no, bro. Nigga, they got married? They're not, bro. Since when do they have the time period to get married, gang? I'm confused. Motherfuckers just met. Well, I don't know if they just met, but they met in the prison, bro.
Please, my wife. That's the best woman in the world right there. Please, that's the best woman in the world. Vicky, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry, baby. Anybody in this world don't deserve it. She don't. When she's herself, it ain't me. But y'all ain't gonna believe me. I'm gonna say I killed her. Just like y'all say I killed everybody else.
Finally, after 11 days, the manhunt has come to an end, and they've got Casey unharmed in handcuffs. But Vicky met a much more devastating end. Just 2 weeks ago, she was an upstanding member of society, an esteemed prison officer respected by those around her. Now, she's a fugitive, laying in a criminal's stolen car, conscious, but with devastating injuries.
She shot herself.
David, she good? No, she's good. She's still got it in her hand. Yes, she's got a gun. All right, watch. There's medic right here, medic. Get back. It's still in her hand? Yes, it's in her hand. Still breathing. I gotta break this center up here.
You go in? Well, I think we can reach in and get the gun. That'd probably be easier in the windshield.
Oh, see if it'll open. Good idea. You got cover? Yeah. It's opening. It's opening. You got me? Yeah. I'm gonna go for the gun first. All right, pull me out. All right, I got it.
She's been shot in the head, and Casey claims she took her own life. When cops get a better look, they find her finger is still on the trigger of the gun. Later that day, Vicky was pronounced dead in a nearby hospital. We'll never really know what the two had planned for their life together after their escape. Whether they wanted to go off the grid and settle down, or live the rest of their lives on the run. Well, it turns out, Casey never planned to keep Vicky around at all. He described her as a liability, and someone that didn't have the mind for this sort of.
Bro, I'ma tell you, bro, he was finna off that bitch himself. The bitch wanted him, bro, but the nigga did not want the bitch. She fell for this nigga trap. Come on, bro, this shit is sad.